So I bought the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Silent Night palette. As you can very clearly see, it is a festive palette. I know that I'm uploading this in January, but it doesn't really matter because honestly the colour story is still beautiful. It is super festive. As you can see, Baubles is actually a multi-chrome, and the other ones, it's got 4 shimmers in this palette and 4 mattes. This is my first ever purchase from them, so I'm really excited to give this a really good go to see how good it is. Trying to get this so you can hopefully see this in the daylight a little bit more. So I've just got the 4 shades on my eyes, but you can definitely see all of that shine. Like, I've got 2 of the shimmers. I've got Jingle Bells and Tinsel on my lids. I've got Gingerbread and Stockings, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. After I was trying to go for a simple look. I mean, come on, as if. It's still before Christmas for me, so I can use my Rudolph mug. I want to use a Silent Night palette today, but I don't want to cut my crease because I found that I've actually been getting like some creasing happen. So that's why I just want to try it out. So I'm really keen. Ooh, like, let's do it. Maybe add in some blue. So I've just used my Linda Hallberg eye primer today. Like I said, I'm not doing anything flash. I just want to see how this works just as is. First off, like, these blend, like these apply really beautifully already, very quickly. Now for me, I do kind of have to define my crease a bit as well, just because it looks quite strange if I don't. I do like how this builds up on itself well, but you can blend it out very quickly. Now I'm going to go in with Baubles, which is showing as like a seafoam kind of green to me, but it might be showing differently to you, because then this looks blue on here. Be still my beating heart, sorry, because this looks pink on me right now. Oh my god. People keep on saying that no one actually cares about their makeup as much as this. No one reacts like this. I actually do. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go with some Slay, which is this pretty blue shade. I go under. Okay, so I'm gonna finish the other eye, and then I'll be back. Everything's just so much better now. You can really tell a 2000s person from the way that they do their hair on their day off when it's their shower day. If you're curious about what's on my lips, this is the first Melt lipstick I've ever bought. This is in the shade Horror. But yes, now let's see how this wears, because before this is actually creased at about the 6-hour mark to 9 now, so maybe I'll see it at like 4, something like that. It is 5:44. So let's just look at this creasing. As you can see on my eyes, there is some creasing happening where Baubles is, and that's a real shame. I guess the oil content of these is kind of high. Like I said, I do have oily lids, so this is not really the most ideal for me. Like, I'm not dealing with any fading or anything, and that black mark is my mascara from when I was sweating heaps from my long workout. Yeah, it's been on for around about 8 and a bit hours, so this really isn't ideal because normally I leave for work at like before 7 in the morning, and I get back home after 5 o'clock. So it's not really good for a full work day. I'm gonna see what I can do to try and like find a way to make these work a bit more, especially these shimmers, to see if it can still work on my oily lids. So let's keep going. So I wanted to show you a very subtle look that you can do with this. I was going to go more dramatic, but we've been so busy preparing for the in-laws that like it's impossible. So I just wanted to show you what I've created today using Gingerbread just up all around here. Then I've gone with Jingle Bells on the inner third, and Tinsel just on that third there, and I went in with another pan just to add in a little bit of brown. But if you are intimidated by this color story, do not be. Like, I was like, oh, is there a way? Yes, you can make this subtle as well. Like, I consider this very wearable makeup. Like, I just use a little bit of black eyeshadow to create like a very light wing, and yeah, simple, done. But the real test will be how this wears throughout the day. I really just want to see if this creases today, because it has been creasing as you've seen on me, so I just want to see how this is. So it's 11 o'clock now, and I'll probably be checking in close to 9 o'clock at night, so then you can see how it's worn. Maybe a little bit tipsy by then, but you'll just get the impression. 'Tis the season, you know? I'm filming this on the 23rd, so it's my husband's birthday. We can drink if we want to. Okay, it is now about 9 o'clock at night. So it's been on for 10 hours now, but the thing is, when I looked in the mirror at around about 1 in the afternoon, I already saw creasing happening because of the shiny shades, which is a real shame. So what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to try setting with a loose powder first, just to see if that makes any difference at all, because I really want to be able to make these shades work because they are so pretty, and it would just be such a shame to like not be able to work with them. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you. No other fading or issues have actually happened, but it's that creasing. So if you have oily lids like me, this might require a bit more work than originally anticipated. Alright, so it is now officially Christmas Day. I look like trash because I feel like trash. I'm absolutely burnt out, and anxiety is yeah, just issues. Anyway, so I've got Slay on my lids as well as Warbles, but I tried a different technique to try and see if I could stop it from creasing. It's been on for an hour so far, so far so good. The thing is that it's hard to tell exactly what's going to happen. So I did my old technique of putting on concealer on the lid and then putting a bit of powder down. So I will see how well this lasts. It is incredibly hot today. And of course there's humidity because this is Aotearoa, and we're in Auckland, so that means that it's very, very humid. So yeah, I will check in with you later on. Not exactly sure when. So as it's been on for like over 5 hours, I'll know if it's going to crease or not, hey? So let's just see how it goes. I do really like the way that this blends though, like the blend on it, it's stunning. So I did not apply Baubles wet, I applied this dry, so we'll see if it makes any difference by doing that as well. I'm just trying whatever I can. I've got to figure out what works for my oily lids because this is expensive and I want to be able to use it. Okay, so I actually forgot to show you how the eyeshadow I wore on Christmas Day because I was not feeling great, and I just actually took my makeup off at the end of the day. But I didn't really notice too much creasing, but it had begun to crease. So what I've done today is I have used stocking, obviously, and also fairy lights, and on this eye I applied it wet, and on this eye I applied it dry, and I did the same technique by using the concealer, and I set it with some powder, and let's just see if this still creases. Obviously, like, this looks sickening. I'm really loving the way that this looks. It feels amazing. Like, I love, like I said, the blendability of the mattes alone is like, when I was applying this wet, I did notice it was like a bit more slippy, obviously, as that would happen. But it wasn't actually like caking up anywhere. Let's just have my eyes closed so you can just see. There you go. I'm going to be wearing a mask today, so because we're going out shopping, because it's day after Boxing Day. It's that weird period where everyone's just like, what the hell is even going on? But yeah, our couches are broken, so we need to get a new one. They've been broken for months and months, nearly a year actually. So yeah, we're going out. So I will see you at the end of a very long day. My outfit changed because I'm not out and about anymore. It doesn't even matter. So yeah, as you can very clearly see, I've got creasing on both eyes. Isn't that fun? So that is sadly a bit of an issue for me. Like I said before, we've got fairy lights on the lid, and that is the one that is creasing on both, regardless of applying wet on this eye or dry on this eye. They both have creasing. I'm gonna try again tomorrow. I'm so determined to try and find a way to make this work for oily lips. We are at it again with the Silent Night palette. It's quite clear the colours that I've used today, so I went in with just mistletoe and baubles. Yes, this is just mistletoe that I've blended out. Like, oh my goodness, can I just praise the mattes once again, because these are phenomenal. They're beautiful and I love them. On this eye I applied baubles wet. On this eye I applied baubles dry, and it is just after 9 in the morning, so I'm going to see how this is after a very long busy day of doing all sorts of stuff, because that's always a good test. It's also really, really humid. I think we're in the 70s in terms of humidity for today. Beautiful, beautiful shades, of course. Like, I'm so here for this very kind of like 2000s-esque sort of vibe, but this is just 2 shades on my eyes. Like, how technically 3 because I used a little bit of black as like a liner. But yeah, it's cute, it's super cute. So I just want to see if I can stop it from creasing, because what I did again was I actually applied a little bit more powder when setting my concealer to see if that makes a difference. I'm going to try it another way. I just really want these beautiful shimmers. I just really want these beautiful shimmers to be able to work. Also, if you're wondering why my background changed, it's way after Christmas now. I think it's on the 28th. We have had a hell of a day. We were mixing concrete today, we've been for a really big walk, just all sorts of stuff, and of course I'm still naked, I'm still exhausted, so there we go. Now let's have a look at my eyes. Remember, this side I applied wet, this side I applied dry. I'm just double checking. I think because I added that bit of extra powder on, it's actually stopped this side from getting like that creasing. I just needed a bit more powder. And this side, it looks like it's starting to crease now. By the way, it's 7:30 at night, so this has been on for 10.5 hours, to give you a bit of a frame of reference. Not all that bad, considering my very greasy lids, but yeah, I do need to put on like that bit of extra powder for me anyway. I'll try this out again just to make sure this wasn't a fluke or something. But yeah, let's see how tomorrow goes too. Okay, since on Christmas Day I was feeling just that bad, what I've done today is on this side I've got concealer and set with powder. Then on this side I've used my LH Cosmetics primer and then done a little bit of powder in here just to see. We're about to go on like a really big walk and this is early in the morning, so I'll be checking in later on today after I've done a different workout, so you can really see like how things are, and it's very humid. Then, just because I want to add a little bit of purple in today, I'm going to take Sacré Coeur. Then I'm just going to take baubles again. I will just clean up and then I'll be back in. Okay, so there you go. My hair is not styled, it's just about to go up because we're going on a walk, like I said. But anyway, the two colours on display are these two today, and let's just see how they're looking right now. As a reminder, the primed side with actual eyeshadow primer, the side that has just the concealer and the powder, and let's just see how... Sorry, that's the cats crunching around because they love crunchy paper, what can I say? so let's just see how this wears throughout the whole day. Humidity is pretty high, the heat is pretty high. It's probably going to be, what, like 28 degrees today? I told you, crunchies. And I still need to clean up after and put that away after Christmas, clearly. My hair looks terrible. You don't care, hopefully. We're here for the eyeshadow. So as a reminder, the primer side and the concealer side. So when I was just looking right now, oh, by the way, it's like 9 o'clock at night, so this has been on for over 12 hours now. And yes, just these two shades right here. So it is starting to crease here, and like I said, I had used a tiny bit of powder on the inner part because oily lids, so I was like, maybe this will work. And I haven't dealt with any separation. I know that my application was terrible today. We're actually in a rush to go out on our walking adventure. So yeah, if you're wondering why like the edges aren't clean, that's why. Not every day has to be the perfect day, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to show you what it is like now, which is incredibly promising. So it actually seems like I've figured out the way to be able to use the shimmer shades without it creasing too much, so I just need to make sure I've used concealer. Alright, it's time for my final thoughts on this palette. So obviously I've used this a lot, and please do not judge my terrible black eyeshadow double wing attempt today. Whatever, like, what can I say? We can't all have great makeup days every single day. Like I've shown you, I've been able to work out a way to make the shimmers work for my eyes, just because, like I said, oily lids, terrible skin, what can we do about it, right? But honestly, the colour story for this is fantastic. Like, literally today I've used stocking, tinsel and gingerbread, and then I just used a little bit of like a shimmery yellow that I had elsewhere, but this doesn't look too festive, if that makes sense. Like, this is a perfect festive palette at the same time as being like versatile for most other things. I even used this when I did my bad guys video. Like I used literally like Slay, Mistletoe and Baubles in that look. Like what I'm saying is like these colours, they're so pigmented, they're incredibly blendable, they are so easy to work with, and the way that you can build up the mattes on top of each other. Sorry if you can hear crunching, Pixie is on like all the crunchies down here, I'll show you after. But the way that you can actually build the mattes on top of each other to just build this beautiful intensity whilst being able to blend it out so it becomes like this wonderful diffused look. Like honestly, I'm so glad that I got this. Best Christmas present I could have got for myself. And yeah, like I know that this may not be applicable to many other people because it was a limited edition palette, but I'm really glad that I've got it. And at the same time, I know now what the Glaminatrix formula is like, so this was a fantastic little like dip my toes in, because I've already ordered the Sandra Rose palette, which was on pre-order, so then I'll be able to use that next, when I say next year, it's this year, so I'll be able to use that this year because that will probably arrive in like February maybe. And I know that they're also working on a nocturnal palette, so that one's like a grungy sort of look. I'm more of a pastel person myself, so I probably will be skippy on that, but if there's any lighter sort of vibes, then I'll probably be getting that. Anyway, have you bought this palette? What looks did you do with this? What was your favorite look? And yeah, let me know about any of your other thoughts. It's been amazing. I love them so very much. Like even the 2 eyeshadow looks that I've done with this have been beautiful. Like wow, normally I need a bunch of colors on my eyes for me to like really appreciate it, but even with 2 colors with this, I love it. So yeah, I'm really glad I've got it. I'm gonna be using this all the time, even though it's not Christmas all the time. I don't really care, honestly. It's my favorite time of year, so this will just make me happy anytime I get to use it. So thank you lovers so very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. See, look at that cutie. Hi. So if you're ever wondering, this is why there's crunchy sounds, because little kitty cats really like the crunchies. So yes, there you go.